stop obsessing over things. Obsession, like obsessive thoughts and behaviors, are low vibrational energy. When we are in any low vibrational state, such as despair, sadness, depression, jealousy, anger, this is how we sever the contact with the divine, with our guides, and that is how we put blockages on our own blessings that our divine, our guides, are trying to give us. Now, these are very normal, very human emotions. They cannot be escaped. We're going to feel them. But the key here is feel them, understand them, and release them in a healthy way. It's this release that's the missing piece here. When we're bottling them up, or when we're constantly just dwelling on it and dwelling and obsessing and like, oh my God, will this happen? Should it not happen? Should I have done this? Regrets. That's when it becomes a problem, and it literally puts a stop, puts a lid on the blessings, because it severs the connection. We can, like, what strengthens the connection to our higher self, which is what gives us this better, clearer, like higher perspective on their situations, that allows us to grow, to learn lessons, to, better as a person. That pulls us close, that we evolve into our higher self, and then we become closer to our guides, to the divine, to the universe, and that's how we receive the blessings. Now, it's easier said than done. Like I said, very normal, very human behavior. But trust me, I know from experience, like I used to be that girl that was like contacting every single reader, like doing readings on like, websites like Kasamba and other things. No shade against them when used properly. Very good tools. There's some very talented readers on there. But just for example, just the easy access, right, remote readings, and I'm like, will he text me back? Will my ex come back? Will my ex come back? Will he come back? And they would tell me, right, they would tell me different answers, or, there'd be, but like, it doesn't do anything for me. And like, the more, like, when I was in that state, like desperately wanting him to come back and to text me back, and like, oh, will he come back? Will he come back? Oh my God, I want him to come back. I want him back. He didn't. And that was the universe did not give him back to me for a reason, because while I was in that state, let's say hypothetically he did come back, right? I would have just gotten back blindly, completely blindly, gotten back together with him and repeated yet another cycle of frustration and misunderstandings and heartbreak and incompatibility. And it would have ended this, and then I would have repeated yet another cycle. How long would it have lasted? 3 years, 2, more? And I would have been still in the same position, because I didn't change. I didn't grow, right? So as soon as I stopped, and there was a couple years ago, like every year I set an intention to like work on something specific to better myself, to raise my vibration, to evolve. And that one year, I just finally, like, he wasn't on nothing, like, I was miserable, I was not in good mental health, and he was, clearly he wasn't coming back, so I decided, you know what, no, I'm just gonna sit here. Me obsessing isn't working, all these readers tell me some stuff, it's, maybe it's kind of coming true, maybe it's too far away, I don't know. So I sat there, and I was uncomfortable. And I had to do that. That's how you right? We talked, you feel, and I admitted my feelings. I found meaning in a why am I, like, most important, ask why. Always ask why. Why am I feeling this way? Do I miss this particular person? Or do I need this particular thing? Or is it just a general, like, am I just desperate to feel better? And this is the only way my brain, like, knows how. Even though long term, it's not for the better. So I taught it was so uncomfortable. I hated it. I'm a double fire sign and a Capricorn moon. Like, I'm a very impatient person. But what I realized I was doing, I was being, first of all, it's toxic what you're doing, this obsession and like, tell me this, getting readings everywhere all the time. It's toxic. You're being toxic to yourself. Okay? And you matter. You matter just like anyone else, and you're being toxic to someone, which just happens to be you in this case. I was being toxic. So, I call it like meddling in your own life. So the universe, like I talked about divine timing, right? Had the universe given me something that I thought I wanted, I would have gotten it. And then either like you don't know what to do with it, or it's not what you expected, or actually maybe you get it and then you decide, wait, why did I want this in the first place? You're not ready. It's not giving it to you because you're not ready. Because it knows better. It always knows better, right? Always. And whatever it wants for you will happen. It could happen the easy way or the hard way. Usually it's the hard way, because that's how us humans learn. And it's okay. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. But yeah, so I surrendered. That's the year I was working on surrendering. I stopped meddling in my own life. And when you do that, why is that so important? You partner with, let the universe be your partner. A partnership, any type of partnership, is 50-50. Both sides have to give and take, right? Relatively equal amounts. So when it comes to partnering with my guides and the universe, well, my job is, again, to improve myself. It's to grow and to elevate my vibration so that I may become closer to them. And that's it. My job is done. It's finished and it's done. I need to be open-minded because I don't know what blessings it's giving me. I think, my ex coming back would be a blessing, or getting a specific job would be a blessing. And in the long run, it's just not. It's not healthy. It's not what I would actually deep down, what I actually want. And I don't know, right? Sometimes we don't know what we want, or sometimes we think we want this specific thing will make it better, but there's something even better, even more longer lasting on the horizon. There's no way for you to know. You don't know. The universe does. Your higher self does. So do your part. Learn your lessons all at once. The universe loves it when we learn lessons. That's what helps us evolve. Then have faith. This is why faith and hope are so important. Trust the universe. It's cooking, it's doing something, it's brewing, and it's gonna give this to you. Okay? And once you become in this kind of like, it's a more neutral, less desperate, more receptive state, I promise you, from my own experience, from my friends and my clients. I'm a professional tarot reader, by the way, years of experience. But I've seen it. There's evidence for it that like when it rains, it pours. Okay, so for me, like in this particular, there were other things. Obviously, there could be a job that you want, a place where you want to move to, a friendship. Like in my case, it was a romantic relationship that ended. And, once I decided, okay, you know what, he's not coming and I'm gonna be okay. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't like being single, but I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna trust that the universe will, whatever may happen will happen. When it does, if it does, and just let it go. And it was hard. I'm not saying like it sounds like, oh, it's easy. No. It was hard. I was itching to text him like so bad. I was itching to get yet another reading, they weren't very useful anyway, but I was like itching to, talk to someone or think about it, or like just, it's hard. I stopped myself. I had my phone in my hand. I'm like, oh my God. And then I put it down. And then I went and did something else. Finally, I internalized that state. And that became easier. And that became my default state. Rather than my default state being just meddling and obsessing and freaking out, I'm like, it's okay. I don't like this. I'm uncomfortable. The discomfort, remember, sometimes our brain thinks that the discomfort, that's like that's it, this is my life now. I'm just going to be miserable forever. No, you're not. No, you're not. All feelings are temporary, happy, sad. It's, there's ups and downs. This discomfort will not last long. Like, it'll go away. So that's why I sat there. I trusted the universe is gonna take care of me. As soon as I embodied that state and got the hang of it, I kid you not, He texted me. The ex did. He texted me, and guess what? And but this time, why? Why was it the divine timing, right? I was ready. Because again, I was in a neutral state. I saw the relationship from like a higher level perspective, from like a bird's eye view. I could see exactly as a whole what was going on. It's hard to see when you're in it. But when you step back, then it's easier to see, okay, what went wrong? What happened? What was me? What was him? Well, okay, what was going on? So the universe recognized that, and it gave me him, and I met him. And guess what? I chose. He wanted to get back together. I asked him questions. I was like, we'll see what he says, right? I wasn't, at that point, I was, take it or leave it. We'll see, maybe, maybe not. So I asked him questions. Okay, how is it going to be different? What specific, like I asked him very specific, I always ask questions, right? Ask why, like just gather information before you make a decision, right? That's how you make informed decisions. So I was asking him all these questions. I'll tell you, I did not like what I heard. Nothing at all that he said showed me that he is interested in improving himself, in working on a relationship, in putting in more effort. He just sounded like he was lonely, and I felt bad about that, but I mean, we'll get that way. It's not my job, to relieve his loneliness, but he just sounded lonely, and I'm the last thing he remembers. I'm like, that's not a basis for a healthy relationship. That's not gonna, all of these things that happen, all these cycles, they're just gonna repeat again, and I'm just gonna end up in the same boat, except I would have wasted even more months, years of my life. Time is the most precious thing you have. Do not waste it on things that don't serve you. And so I told him, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get back together. I welcomed him to, we can keep in touch. We can maybe be friends for a little while we're both still single. Maybe see how things are going. He said, okay, yeah, he agreed. And then he disappeared. He disappeared for like half a year. Which proved to me again that I made the right decision and not just jumping back on that wagon when I wasn't thinking clearly. Because that's what, we make regretful decisions when we're in that low vibrational emotional state. We make good decisions, for ourselves when we're in a clear state. So I needed to sit there in that discomfort to release and to try, again, trust the universe, have that faith, have that hope, but be neutral about it, right? Just surrender, just, okay, whatever you give me, it is what it is. I go with it. I may not like it, I may like it, but that doesn't matter. So, yeah, and thank goodness. Shortly after, I met my now boyfriend. And back then, I thought my ex at the time, oh, that's my person. This is the healthiest relation. I've been in a lot of unhealthy relationships, and that was the healthiest so far relationship. So naturally, of course, my brain is like, no, this is better. It's the best you know. Keep it. No, that's what I'm saying. It gets better, and you don't know. You're never gonna know how much better it can get until you actually move on and try. Fast forward later, soon after, a couple months, I met my boyfriend now. Fast forward, we've been living together for a year. And he puts in effort. He works on things. We solve arguments. He doesn't just willy-nilly walk away or break up with me or ghost me. He listens to my concerns. He makes me feel safe. He accepts me as I am. With some more, it's work. It's all work. It's not always ponies and rainbows. We still argue. We still fight. It's gonna happen. But it's the effort. That's what matters. And it is again, right? Partnerships 50-50. That's what this is. So the universe saw, okay, I was ready to surrender to it. I partnered with it 50-50. It saw that I was ready for it, that I would, that I knew how to, I've grown as well. I used to, like I said, right? Used to be a pretty toxic person in different, in different ways. But I worked on myself, and that surrender helped me. And that made me a much more healthy person. And that made me ready for my current healthy, actually healthy relationship that I never knew. I did not think that this was possible. And you won't if you're obsessed. So if you keep constantly obsessing and dwelling and like you're closing your mind, you're being closed-minded. Just let it happen. Be uncomfortable. Remember, release it in a positive way. This is how you become receptive to blessings. This is how you remove the blocks. Okay, so the card, the theme of today, the card of the day this is from the Dreams of Gaia deck. It is the healing card, number 11. Healing. Why do we do all this, right? We always talk about, in self-care, like put yourself first. Take care of yourself. You need to heal. When you're toxic, when you're sick, when you're not at your best, there's nothing wrong with you, by the way. There's always going to be, we all have problems. We're all weird. We all do crazy things sometimes. But this is how you get better. You need to heal. There's something in you that's not healing. And that's why it's just the universe isn't giving you what you want. You're not ready. You think you are. You're not there yet. Because if you do get it, it's not going to stick. So this is why you have to focus on this, surrender. Like, remember, everything you focus on has to move you towards the higher vibration. And it's releasing. Whenever you feel any low vibe emotion, feel it, sit with it, recognize it, admit that you don't like it, and then find ways to let it go. Find that hope and that faith that this emotion won't last. And thus you become an empty vessel so that you can invite the higher vibrational, the positive emotions. And the crystal that helps with that, like anybody can benefit from this crystal. It is an amethyst. It's beautiful. It's perfect for inner healing, physical healing in general, calm, very calm energy. It's also helpful for opening your third eye and getting you that clear perspective that we talked about. Right? It's with this third eye that you get this, it's the visions from your guides, from your higher self, and that's what helps you get that higher level view that will help you then release and move forward and see the path that you're meant to go on. Right. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps.